YouTube, today's video is a bit of a weird one. The video itself is titled Top 10 Disturbing Recordings Accidentally Captured on Tape. Now, the channel is Most Amazing Top 10, and we've watched a load of their videos. However, this one in particular does require somewhat of a trigger warning. Now, you don't see or hear anything, really, but there's just some little bits that I would say just to watch out for. And if you're easily triggered by certain things, especially trauma, then I would say proceed cautiously, because they do give some context prior to the video playing or any sounds that are played. So you do have time to make the decision whether you want to watch the clip or not. But I thought it would be a good video to watch because there are people that believe that the world is just cakes and rainbows. And although that's a really good thing to think, I think that it's also important to know that there are things that go on in the world that aren't quite cakes and rainbows. And this video is something that does highlight that issue. Now, if you do like the video, then please give the video a like. And if you want to subscribe, then I would appreciate it massively. But for now, enjoy the video and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
A serial killer once left a chilling voicemail on one of his victims' answering machines, whispering, "I'm going to kill you," over and over, and you're about to hear it. Another taped himself burning a house to the ground while softly whispering eerie messages. And then there's Maury Travis, who filmed his grisly killings. The footage being so disturbing that even seasoned cops...
Oh my god! I don't know if this is a good idea.
These are disturbing things that were captured on tape. Joseph James D'Angelo was a police officer in California during the 70s and early 80s.
I feel like we're gonna have to do like a trigger warning or something at the beginning of this video. Jesus.
But at night, he was also something else. Someone who the media dubbed the Night Stalker, responsible for a series of home invasions and violent attacks across multiple counties.
Good thing I didn't just say what I was about to say. I was about to say he's a superhero, and then it turns out that he is a creep.
He managed to avoid arrest for decades. DNA technology just wasn't advanced enough back then. But amongst all the horrific details of his crimes, all the awful first-hand accounts, there's also a piece of audio, a voicemail, that he left on a victim's answering machine in 1978. A message that would have sounded like a sick prank if it hadn't actually come from a man who very much meant what he said. "I'm going to kill you," repeated over and over in this ghoulish, raspy whisper.
Go on then.
That voicemail wasn't made public until many years later. But that voicemail wasn't made public until...
It doesn't... I mean... I guess it probably... I mean, that obviously is what he said, but...
That voicemail wasn't made public until many years later.
Could have been.
But it perfectly shows how he terrorized victims beyond just the physical attacks. He took pleasure in psychologically toying with his victims. D'Angelo was finally caught in 2018, and this voicemail became part of the evidence used.
Wait, the fact that these people actually exist, like there's people, like you've probably got someone in your contact list right now who has, whether they've acted on it or not, they've got these strange thoughts about, I don't know, hurting people, or, you know what I mean? Like you've got someone, 100%, every single person has got someone in their contact list that is, I don't know, like psychologically messed up. And if I'm in your contact list, it's me.
Court. On August 15th, 1989, a man was driving with his family when their car overheated on the side of a road near Stockton, California. While Dad checked the damage, his wife and son stayed close by. After deciding to call for help, he and his son started walking toward the nearest phone. That's when his son spotted a camouflage jacket lying on the ground nearby. Curious, they checked the jacket out and found an unlabeled videotape tucked inside a pocket. They took the tape home and watched it, and what they saw was chilling. It was footage of a house on fire, with a creepy voice whispering things like, "I told you I'd do it, Omar."
Look at the fire. This is my domain.
Bro, it's a young boy. Well, man, young man. He's probably in his late teens, early 20s.
The family handed the tape over to the police right away. convinced that the person filming was, of course, the same person who set the fire. Investigators also found a wooden pestle, a glove matching the jacket, and a ceramic skull near where the jacket was found. Despite enhancing the video frame by frame, police couldn't immediately identify the location. It wasn't until viewers recognized the burning house as a construction site in Redwood City, 80 miles away, that authorities were able to link the tape to the incident. Eventually, 2 teenagers were arrested. One admitted to starting the fire and recording the whole thing. Both were minors at the time.
Is that
one
a
went to juvenile hall, the other was committed to a mental hospital. Maury Travis was a serial killer from St. Louis. He took his own life.
Mate, what? I feel like I'm going to ask this question about 74.76 times this video. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people, man?
Life in 2002, soon after being arrested. Police had found a torment chamber in his basement where he'd taken the lives of 12 women, though that number could be as high as 20. Police also found a collection of videotapes. He'd labeled them Your Wedding Day. These tapes showed him subjecting the women to twisted games before eventually
these people have got lives. Like this weird, overwhelming sense of like power when they're doing this to people. Apparently, they say it's like the best rush or something, and I'm like, hold on. So you think that taking someone else's life is a rush and it's great? I'm going to go with no.
These videos were so graphic that the St. Louis police chief ordered every officer who'd seen the footage to get counseling afterward. That kind of tells you everything you need to know.
I don't want to see it.
Back in 1975, 2 rafters made a deadly mistake on a river in Binghamton, New York. They tried to float over a low-head dam, one of those sneaky drowning machines where the water just rolls back underneath and will trap anything unlucky enough to get caught.
I don't want to watch this.
The rafters got stuck in the current and couldn't escape. The local fire department rushed in to save them, but things went horribly wrong. The rescue team themselves got trapped. The entire disaster was caught on camera. Multiple people died that day, showing just how dangerous low-head dams really are. The video became an important warning, though, used to educate people about the risks of these dams.
Mate, if you don't know what you're doing in water...
In May of 2008, twin sisters Sabina and Ursula Eriksson ran into traffic on the M6 motorway in the UK. No one knows exactly what set them off, but it started after they got kicked off a bus for acting strange. A BBC film crew just happened to be tagging along with highway police when they showed up to check on the sisters, who were standing on the median. Then, out of nowhere, Ursula ran straight into a speeding truck. It crushed her legs. Sabina followed and was hit by a car. Somehow, both survived, and surprisingly, they fought off police and medics. It was almost like they were possessed. Ursula screamed at the paramedics. Sabina punched a cop and tried to run into traffic again. The entire incident was caught on camera. The next day, Sabina was released.
Why are my hands in the air, first of all? I guess I've got armrests here.
She wandered around, met a guy who offered to let her stay the night. And hours later, she took his life with a kitchen blade and ran off.
Right. I've muted it.
Around, met a guy who... Without a psych evaluation, she wandered around, met a guy who offered to let her stay the night, and hours later, she took his life with a kitchen blade and ran off, smashing herself with a hammer and then jumping off a 40-foot bridge.
What are you talking about, mate? That is the strangest level of possession that I've ever heard in my entire life. What?
She lived. Sabina was eventually arrested, though, diagnosed with shared psychosis and sentenced to 5 years for manslaughter. Ursula disappeared back to the US. Somewhere over Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, during a thunderstorm, someone filmed what looked like a horse flying through the sky. Yes, a horse flying. The video is dark, but you can make out this shape floating in the sky between the flashes of lightning. It looks like it's got legs, maybe even wings. It's very apocalyptic. Naturally, the internet lost its mind. Some said it was the mythical Burak, a flying creature from Islamic tradition. Others claimed that it was one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, but maybe it was just a horse-shaped balloon. I don't know. In 2007...
Hold on, so we actually don't know what it is. Is that what we're saying? It didn't land anywhere. No one followed it. Oh.
Two 19-year-olds from Ukraine, Viktor Sayenko and Igor Sapriniak, decided to go on what can only be described as a killing spree. Over the course of a few weeks, they took the lives of 21 people.
I said it again.
They filmed some of it. There was a third conspirator, Alexander Hanza, who was behind the camera. One of their videos was shared online, titled 3 Guys, 1 Hammer, and it's probably one of the most disturbing pieces of footage that's ever leaked on the internet. I'm not linking it, I'm not showing it, and I strongly...
Do you know what? I know he's about to say, please do not watch that. I just don't. Because I watched it when I was a kid. I got shown it, I got sent it, whatever. Because that's apparently what is normal when you're children. Apparently, I don't get that. But, mate, don't watch it. Do not watch it. And just another thing that I want to add as well. Recently, I've been seeing, especially in the UK, I can't speak for other countries because I'm not there. But the UK, doesn't matter where you are, doesn't matter how safe you think you are at all times, the UK is not a safe place, especially for children. Recently, I've seen children as young as like 2 or 3 playing outside without their parents anywhere nearby. And it baffles my brain. Like, please, if you have kids, stop giving them the same freedom that you had when you were a child, because it's not the same. Time has completely changed and people want what they can't have. And if you are seen to have something that they want, they are going to take it. And that includes your children. So bloody hell. Just use your brains, please. And I'm not talking to you guys as my subs, just in general. I think there has been such a, like, it'll be okay. Just let them play out. It'll be all right. No, stop doing that. In my town alone, kids go missing all the time. I don't understand it. Hello. Quick interruption. Guys, I just wanted to clarify quickly that last segment, I did sound like I come across a bit strong, and I wasn't talking to anyone individually. I was talking to the broader world just to try and get my point across. I don't really ever say anything serious. I'm usually quite a jokey person, but this is something that genuinely does annoy me. And I thought, what better video to do it in than something that's to do with just the craziness that goes on in the world. Becoming a parent is quite literally my greatest achievement. And I could not imagine someone taking that away from me. And now I'm not saying that everyone is guilty until proven innocent, but what I am saying is just approach with caution. Everyone's a weirdo until proved normal. Anyways, back to the video.
Strongly recommend.
Thanks for listening to my TED Talk.
Do not go looking for it. I've heard all the details, and it's enough to make me never want to search this up. The clip shows the two attacking a man named Sergei Yatsenko in a wooded area. They attack him with a hammer and a screwdriver that lasts over 6 minutes, and then they laugh and joke about it afterward. You know when people say that everyone views themselves as the hero in their own story, that even when people do bad things, they themselves believe that they're doing it for some greater good? Yeah, it's just not the case. Some people are evil. They know it, and they don't care. In fact,
it doesn't matter who you are. You do not have the right to take someone else's life into your own hands. You just don't. Like, people have this God complex and they think that they just have the right to do anything that they want. Those people are called imbeciles.
They're delighted by it. That's definitely the case with these 3. There were photos on their phones of them attending some of their victims' funerals and giving the finger to the coffins. They're just irredeemable. Eventually, they were caught and tried. Both received life in prison. Cameraman only did about 9 years. He's out of prison now and he has a family.
Oh, wow.
Really aggravating. Timothy Treadwell was a self-proclaimed bear enthusiast.
He's out of prison after 9 years.
Who spent 13 summers.
Fine, you know what? He didn't do the crime, but he facilitated it and he recorded the entire thing, mate.
Living among grizzly bears in Alaska's Katmai National Park. He thought he understood them. He believed he had this connection with the bears. In October of 2003, during his last trip, Treadwell and his girlfriend Amy were attacked and killed by a grizzly. What makes this case even more disturbing is that the audio of their deaths was accidentally captured on Treadwell's video camera. The lens cap was on, so there are no visuals, but the audio caught everything. It hasn't been released publicly,
I was about to say,
but it was
mate.
captured, and those who have heard it have said it's the most unsettling thing they've ever heard.
I don't want to hear
the
it.
sounds of the bear attacking, Treadwell screaming to Amy that he's being killed, and eventually her screams too. Park rangers found the camera at the scene. Werner Herzog, who directed the documentary Grizzly Man, listened to the tape privately. In the film, there's a moment where he's visibly disturbed, telling the owner of the tape that she should never listen to it. Actually, he tells her that she should just destroy it. Ricardo Lopez was a 21-year-old man living in Hollywood, Florida.
Did she
spent
survive?
most of his time in isolation. Over time, he developed this unhealthy obsession with the Icelandic singer Björk, which started as admiration turned into a full-blown fixation. He began writing in a diary that eventually totaled over 800 pages, detailing his fantasies, his anger, and growing frustration over her personal life, especially when he learned she was in a relationship with another musician, Goldie. Lopez started to spiral, filming video diaries 18 hours worth, where you can actually see his mental state decline as it goes on. In the tapes, he talks directly to the camera, ranting about Björk, his insecurities, and his plan. He built a device, a book rigged with a hollow...
I don't get how one person can be so obsessed with one other person to the point where you want to do weird things to them because... What? I'm going to ask again. What the f is wrong with people, mate? I don't get it. I really don't.
Out section that contained a homemade explosive. The plan was simple. Send it to her London address, and when she opened it, it would spray sulfuric acid in her face.
Lovely.
On September 12th, 1996, he mailed the package and returned home to film one final tape. In it, he painted his face red and green, shaved his head, and played Björk's music in the background, and took his own life on camera, believing that he would meet Björk in heaven. His body was found 4 days later, and police contacted Scotland Yard, who intercepted his package before it ever reached the singer. On November 18th, 19...
This is what is so wrong with people. They have this idea that everything is going to go absolutely fine. His whole plan was that he was going to unalive this person and himself, and then they were going to convene in the afterlife. I don't want to laugh because someone did get hurt. However, I mean, someone's actually unalived. But in this case, it's hard to say. I mean, he wasn't very well. Seemed like he probably wasn't going to get the help for it. He is no longer suffering. I mean, it would have been nice for him to get help while he was alive, but you can only get help if you want help.
1978, more than 900 members of the People's Temple lost their lives at a remote settlement in Jonestown, Guyana, and their final moments were captured on audio. Known as the Death Tape, the 45-minute audio captures cult leader Jim Jones speaking to his followers during their final moments, urging everyone to take what he calls a peaceful solution, telling parents to give the deadly mixture to their children first. In the background, there's crying, confusion, and this rising panic. Some people try to speak up, but Jones talks over them, insisting this is the only way out.
So they'll pay for this. They brought this upon us, and they'll pay for that. I leave that destiny to them.
It is gut-wrenching, to say the least. You slowly listen as the crowd gets quieter and quieter until there's just silence. I couldn't sit through it all, nor do I want to. The tape was later recovered by authorities and remains one of the most disturbing audio recordings ever made.
I don't know about this video, you know.
James, I'll catch you, yes, you specifically,
in the next one. God, what are you doing to me? Most amazing top 10. Wow. I mean, if you're seeing this video right now, it's because I've gotten a second opinion as to whether I should release this or not. The chances are I probably will, just because I think that there are too many... How can I say this? There's too many people unaware of what goes on in the world, frequently as well. Like, this happens more than anyone would actually think. Ignorance is bliss, yes, but I think that there are too many people that just go on about life, or go about life as if it's just cakes and rainbows, and it quite literally is not. This stuff really does go on, and I think that people just need to adapt to the times now, rather than living and allowing their kids to live the same way that they did when they were children. Like, even when I was a kid, like I was always out playing around on the streets, nothing ever happened. But then both my little brothers have, one of them got robbed, the other one tried to get taken in a van. Like this stuff quite literally happens all the time. Anyways, to finish on a lighter note, I hope everyone's had a good day. And if you like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.